Dear students, today we will start the part 3, that is last part of this group 18 elements. So today we will discuss regarding the structure, that is formation and structure of the xenon fluoride compounds and xenon oxygen fluorine compounds. So before going to this, we have to discuss how to know the nature of this central atom hybridization. That is hybridization of the central atom. I am giving one of the important formula how to determine the number of hybrid orbital and therefore the nature of hybridization. Number of hybrid orbital, that is equal to half of H plus M minus C plus A. What is that H? This is the formula to determine the number of hybrid orbitals, where H that stands for H, that is number of electrons present in outermost shell of central atom. M, that is number of monovalent atoms like hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, sodium, lithium, etc. So next one, that is C, that stands for, that is charge over cation, that is magnitude. Magnitude of charge over the cation, and A, that stands for charge over the anion, that is magnitude also. So by the application of this formula, we can determine the number of hybrid orbitals, and thereafter we have to go for that hybridization. For example, H is equal to, that is 8 for krypton and xenon, 7 for, that is FCl Bri, 6 for, that is oxygen, sulfur, etc. That is 5 for nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, 4 for, that is carbon, silicon, germanium, 3 for boron, aluminum. So these are the values of that H, and M that stands for number of monovalent atoms, then C that stands for cations, and A that stands for anions. So whenever there is no such cation, then C value 0, no anion, A value 0, no monovalent atom, M is 0. Only we have to apply this formula to determine the number of hybrid orbitals, and after knowing the hybrid orbital, number of hybrid orbital 2, nature of hybridization, that is sp, 3, that is sp2, that is 4 sp3, 5 sp3 d, 6 sp3 d2, 7, that is sp3 d3. So by the application of this formula, we have to determine the number of hybrid orbital and then nature of hybridization. So we have to apply this formula for the xenon fluoride compounds, xenon oxide compounds. Then we have to determine the nature of hybridization and their respective structures by the application of the VSEPR theory, valency shell electron pair repulsion theory. So next we will start the structures of xenon difluoride, tetrafluoride and hexafluoride, xenon trioxide, tetroxide, XeOF2 and XeO2F2 and XeOF4, etc. First we have to give the formula, we have to apply that formula to determine the nature of hybridization of the xenon difluoride, tetrafluoride, hexafluoride and the oxide compounds. For example, HCF2. Number of hybrid orbital, that is half of the value of that H for that xenon, that is 8. Number of electron present in the outermost shell 8. Number of monovalent atom, that is 2. There is no such cation and anion. The value of C and A, that is found to be 0. So number of electron present in the outermost shell, that is 8. The value of H is 8. Number of electron present in that outermost shell 8. Number of that is monovalent atom, that is 2. That is 8 plus 2, that 10 divided by 2, that is 5. So by comparing with that of the table, we can determine the nature of hybridization for this one, that is sp3, sp3d. Next one, that is xenon tetrafluoride. Xenon tetrafluoride, the nature of hybridization, number of hybrid orbital, that is half of number of electron present in outermost shell, that is 8 plus 4, that is 6 sp3d2. Then xenon hexafluoride, number of hybrid orbital, that is half of 8 plus 6, that is equal to 7, that is sp3d3. 3 plus 3 plus 1, 7, 2 plus 3 plus 1, 6, 1 plus 3 plus 1, that is 5. Next, we have to apply this formula, same formula, to the oxide compounds. For example, XeO3. Then number of hybrid orbital for this one, xenon outermost shell that contains same, that is 8 electrons, half of, that is 8 plus 0. Because oxygen, that is divalent element, there is no such monovalent element. So half plus 8 plus half into 8 plus 0, that is 4. Therefore, that is sp3 hybridization. 3 plus 1, that is 4. In a similar way, XeO4, number of hybrid orbital, that is half of, that is 8 plus 0, that is 4, that is also sp3 hybridization. Then XeO4, number of hybrid orbital, that is half of 8 plus number of monovalent atom, that is 4. Fluorine atom 4. Oxygen atom is not counted because it is divalent. So 8 plus 4 divided by 2. Then that is found to be 6, that is sp3d2. Then XeO2F2, number of hybrid orbital, that is half of 8 plus 2, that is 5, sp3 dehybridization. Then XeO4, already we have given, that is XeO4, XeO2F2, that is XeO3 already we have given. So these are the different compounds, that is XeO4, XeO2F2, then XeO3 and XeO4. Already we have discussed regarding. Similarly, you can apply for this anion also, that is XeF5 plus, XeF5 plus. XeF5 plus, number of hybrid orbital, that is half of xenon outermost shell that contains, that is 8 electrons, number of monovalent, that is 5, cation -1 plus 0. 8 plus 5, 13, minus 1, that is 12 by 2, that is 6, that is sp3d2. So these are the different hybridization of the central atom by the application of the formula. Next, how this compound that will be produced, we have to discuss one by one. Xenon difluoride, tetrafluoride, hexafluoride, XeO3, XeO4, etc. How this compound that is produced by taking the concept of that hybridization, we have discussed one by one and we have to give the structure of them. So xenon difluoride, XeF2. HCF2. You know the number of unpaired electrons are responsible for the formation of the covalent bonds by mutual sharing. So fluorine atom that is having the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. 2p5 means this is 2s2 that contain paired electron, 2p5 that contain 2 pair, 1 unpaired electron. So this unpaired electron is responsible for that bond formation with that of the central atom, that is xenon, by mutual sharing. So one fluorine atom has the ability to form one bond, two fluorine atom means that has the ability to form two bonds. So xenon atom must have the availability of two number of unpaired electron for the formation of two bonds. And if we write down the electronic configuration for that xenon, that is outermost shell, that is 5s2, 5p6, 5d0. There is the presence of that vacant d orbital. Xenon low ionization potential. Therefore, the electron can be promoted to the vacant d orbital. Five s2 one pair, 5p6, 5p6. Then this is the vacant orbital. So xenon that form two bond means it must have the availability of two number of unpaired electrons. Means one pair electron that becomes unpaired, one electron will be promoted to this vacant d orbital. So 5s2, 5p, 2 pair, 1 unpaired, and 1 electron that is promoted to that is vacant d orbital. And this is the xenon atom in the excited state. So the nature of hybridization, that is sp3d, sp3d hybridization. So this is the sp3d hybridization. We have already, this has been derived according to that formula. By the application of that formula, half of H plus A minus E plus A. So we have also derived this according to that formula, sp3d hybridization. So number of hybrid orbital, that is 5. One pair electron, one another pair, three paired electron and two unpaired electron. 3 paired electrons and 2 unpaired electrons are there. So 2 fluorine atom, fluorine 2pz1, fluorine atom 2pz1, this one 2pz1 have the ability to form bond by mutual sharing to form xenon difluoride. So that is a sp3d hybridization. Number of lone pair, that is 3. Number of bond pair, that is found to be 2. So this is regarding the xenon difluoride. And if you write the structure for this one, xenon atom sp3d means that must be sp3d hybridization means that must have that is TPP structure. But because of the presence of that lone pair of electron, according to that VSEPR theory, that is having the linear structure. So xenon atom at the center, 3 lone pairs electrons are at the 3 sides of 3 corners of the equilateral triangle, one fluorine atom, another fluorine atom. So that is having linear structure. That is linear. So xenon difluoride, that is sp3d hybridization, that is having the linear structure, where there is the presence of 3 lone pair of electrons. These are the pair of electrons that is not taking part in bond formation. These 2 unpaired electrons that is present in hybrid orbital, they are responsible for the formation of bond with that of the fluorine to form difluoride, xenon difluoride. So this is regarding that xenon difluoride. Next we have to go for that xenon tetrafluoride. So regarding the structure for that xenon tetrafluoride, how it is formed, what is that hybridization, and what regarding that structure for this one. So fluorine, same, that is 1 unpaired electron, it has able to form 1 bond. There is the presence of 4 fluorine atoms, 4 bonds. Means xenon atom must make the availability of 4 number of unpaired electron by the promotion of 2 number of electrons. This electron is promoted, that pair that becomes unpaired, this electron is also promoted. So there is the formation of 4 number of unpaired electron, that is xenon atom excited, so that the formation of one pair electron, again another pair electron, unpaired, unpaired. These are the promoted electrons, promoted electrons. Then what regarding that hybridization, that is sp3d2, sp3d2 hybridization. Also we have derived this hybridization by the application of that same formula, that is sp3d2 hybridization. So how many number of hybrid totals are there? 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is 6. That is xenon atom excited, 6 number of electrons are there, 6 number of hybrid totals are there, 1 pair, another pair, 4 unpaired electrons are there. These 4 unpaired electrons which are present in hybrid orbital, they are responsible for the formation of that bonds with that fluorine atom 2pz1, fluorine 2pz1, fluorine 2pz1 and another fluorine, that is 2pz1. So by mutual sharing of these electrons, they have the ability to form, that is xenon tetrafluoride. Xenon tetrafluoride. Then number of lone pair of electrons, lone pair electron, that is 2, lone pair, that is 2. These are the pair of electron that is not taking part in bond formation, that is already present in hybrid total, not taking part in bond formation, treated as lone pairs. And these are the pair of electron produced by mutual sharing of electrons of that xenon central atom, one unpaired electron, with that of the fluorine pz orbital. Therefore, bond pair, that is equal to 4. So according to that VSEPR theory, this structure actually that should have that octahedral geometry because of sp3d2 hybridization, but actually that is square planar. That is xenon atom at the center, 4 fluorine atoms are there directed to 4 corners, one lone pair electron and another behind that board, one lone pair, another. So that is pair of electron, lone pair, lone pair. Hybrid orbital containing pair of electron, that is known as lone pair. So that is xenon tetrafluoride, that is square planar structure, square planar geometry. So this is regarding the structure for that xenon tetrafluoride, that is sp3d2 hybridization, square planar geometry, having 2 lone pairs and 4 bond pairs. Next we will see that is xenon hexafluoride. Next we will see the structure for that xenon hexafluoride and its formation. So by the application of the formula, that is we can determine the nature of hybridization of that central atom, that is sp3d3. Then fluorine atom that contain one pair, unpaired. Then xenon atom must make the ability of 6 number of unpaired electron for the formation of that is xenon hexafluoride. So 3 paired electron, 1 electron from each will get promoted to form 6 number of unpaired electrons. So the structure xenon atom excited, paired, unpaired, 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 these are unpaired electrons. So nature of hybridization, that is sp3d3 hybridization. So number of hybrid totals, that is 3 plus 3 plus 1, that is 7. So xenon atom excited, 1 pair electron, number of hybrid totals 7. Number of hybrid totals 7, 1 pair electron, 6 number of unpaired electrons are there, which have the ability to form compounds with that of the 6 fluorine atom. That 2pz1 of each fluorine atom So there is the formation of xenon hexafluoride. By mutual sharing, there is the formation of xenon to fluorine sigma bond, sigma by mutual sharing, there is the formation of sigma bonds. So in this case, there is the presence of one lone pair of electron, lone pair that is found to be 1, bond pair that is found to be 6. So there is the presence of 6 bond pairs and 1 lone pair of electron. So the structure for this one, the expected structure, that is xenon, that is pentagonal pyramidal. One hybrid atom contain one lone pair of electron, and that is pentagonal pyramidal. But most preferred structure for this compound, that is distorted octahedral. This is pentagon, one bond, that is xenon to fluorine bond below this board, and one lone pair of electron above this board. So that is pentagonal pyramidal. But the most preferred structure for this one, that is distorted octahedral, Xe. One fluorine atom, and at this side there is the presence of lone pair of electron, that distorted octahedral structure. So this is pentagonal pyramidal. This is the most preferred structure for this one. So xenon hexafluoride that is having sp3 D3 hybridization, number of lone pairs that is equal to 1, bond pair 6, sp3 D3 hybridization. Either the structure will be pentagonal pyramidal or distorted octahedral, but that is the most preferred structure. Next we will go for the structure for the oxide compounds of xenon. Next we will go for the structure for the xenon trioxide, XeO3. We know the hybrid orbitals containing unpaired electrons will form sigma bond. Hybrid orbitals containing paired of electrons are treated as lone pairs. Unhybridized orbital containing unpaired electron will form pi bond. And in case of oxygen, there is the presence of 2 unpaired electrons, and among them one will form sigma, another will form pi. For example, oxygen 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. So these 2 electrons are responsible for the formation of these bonds. That is 2py1 and 2pz1. But these 2 orbitals are mutually perpendicular to each other. These mutually perpendicular orbitals, they will form bonds with the same atom, that is xenon. Therefore, one will be head-on overlap, another will be lateral overlap to form pi. Means oxygen atom has the ability to form 2 bonds. Among them, one will be sigma, another will be pi. So 3 oxygen atoms are there. Means 3 sigma, 3 pi. Total number of bonds that will be produced by that oxygen, that will be 6. Because 1 oxygen atom will form 2 bonds, 3 oxygen atom 6 bonds. So these 6 bonds that will be produced by 3 oxygen atom with the same central atom, means 3 will be sigma and 3 will be pi. So hybrid orbital containing unpaired will form sigma, unhybridized containing unpaired electron will form pi. Means xenon atom must have 3 number of electrons in the hybrid orbital, unpaired electron in the hybrid, and 3 number of unpaired electrons in the unhybridized orbital. So xenon atom 5s2, 5p6, 5d0, 5s2 paired, 5p6 3 paired, and 5d0, 5d0, then there is no such electrons. So there is the chance of formation of 6 number of bonds means 3 number of electrons, 3 paired electrons will be unpaired, and there is the formation of 6 number of unpaired electrons. So xenon atom excited that contain 3 unpaired electrons, 3 unpaired electrons also, then you just can say that is sp3d3 hybridization. That is not the sp3d3 hybridization, because these 3 number of electrons that will remain unhybridized for the formation of that 3 pi bonds. So 3 unhybridized orbital. So this central atom that must have undergone that sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. If you apply that formula, half of H plus A minus C plus A, also will get that is sp3 hybridization. Number of hybrid orbital, that is 4. Number of unhybridized orbital containing unpaired electron, that is 3. With the pair electron present in hybrid, unpaired electron that will be present 3. So these hybrid orbitals containing unpaired electron will form sigma bonds. This unhybridized orbital containing unpaired electron will form pi bonds with this oxygen atom, because one oxygen atom has the ability to form 1 sigma, 1 pi, one with hybrid, another with unhybridized. So oxygen atom, oxygen, oxygen, 2p y1, 2pz1, 2py1, 2pz1. So same oxygen atom will form 2 bonds. Same oxygen atom will form 2 bonds with the same central atom. One with hybrid to form sigma and unhybridized to form pi. Hybrid with sigma, unhybridized with pi. This is hybrid with sigma, unhybridized with pi. And this pi bond which is produced, so this oxygen atom, every oxygen atom that has ability to form 2 bonds, one with hybrid orbital to form sigma and another with unhybridized orbital to form pi. So these 2 orbitals have the ability to form 2 bonds. So next one we'll see what is the nature of that pi bond. That is, this is your 5d orbital. Xenon atom excited, 5d orbital, and this is oxygen atom p orbital. Then how this pi bond that is produced? This is your sigma, this is the pi bond, and this pi bond that is known as p pi d pi bond. P pi d pi bond, you know that d orbital double dumbbell and p orbital that is dumbbell. So that is the p pi d pi bond. Very, very important question. That is p pi d pi bonding. This pi bond, that is p pi d pi, that is central atom that involve, that is d orbital for the pi bond formation, and oxygen atom that involve, that is p orbital for the pi bond formation, that is p pi d pi bond, that is of xenon, and this is for that oxygen. So xenon difluoride, xenon trioxide, sp3 hybridization, that the presence of 1 lone pair of electron and 3 bond pairs of sigma and 3 bond pairs of that is pi. And the structure for this one, just like ammonia, that is xenon, double bond O, double bond O, double bond O, lone pair of electron. Just like that ammonia, nitrogen atom center, N, H, 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 lone pair. Similar to that, xenon atom at center, pyramidal structure. that is having the pyramidal structure. So xenon atom at the center, xenon to oxygen double bond, double bond, double bond, and one lone pair electron. So this is the lone pair, these are the bond pairs, and that is pyramidal, just like ammonia. That is having the pyramidal structure. So the pi bond that is involved in this case, that is p pi d pi. What is the meaning of that p pi d pi? D orbital of the xenon and p orbital of the oxygen that is involved in the lateral overlap for the formation of that pi bond. Therefore, that is known as p pi d pi bond. And because of the presence of that lone pair of electron, although that is having sp3 hybridization, there is the pyramidal structure, not tetrahedral. That is pyramidal structure because of presence of lone pair of electron. So according to BSc pair theory, that is similar structure with that of the ammonia. So next we will say that is a mixed compound, oxygen fluorine mixed compound with that of xenon. Next we will say the structure for that HCOF4. In this compound, there is the presence of fluorine as well as that oxygen. We know that oxygen has the ability to form 1 sigma, 1 pi, but fluorine atom has the ability to form only sigma. And that can be explained on the basis of that allotonic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py2, 2pz1. It will form the bond. But in case of fluorine oxygen, 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. So two bonds will be formed by that oxygen atom with the same central atom, that is xenon. Means one will be sigma and another will be pi. But fluorine atom has the ability only to form, that is sigma bond. Then how many number of unpaired electrons are required? First, we have to find out that one oxygen atom will form 2 bonds, 4 fluorine atom will form 4 bonds, 4 plus 2, that is 6. Means xenon atom must make the ability of 6 number of unpaired electrons. And among them, one will be unhybridized. Mind it. One will be, that will be unhybridized. Otherwise, there will no formation of that pi bond. It will intermix that in hybridization. One will be in unhybridized orbital. Xenon atom that is having the hybridization sp3d2 in xenon oxygen tetrafluoride compound. In this case, xenon 5s2, 5p6, 5d0. So xenon atom must make the ability of 6 number of unpaired electrons. Why? Because oxygen atom has the ability to form 2 bonds and each fluorine atom has the ability to form 1 bond. 4 fluorine atom 4 bonds, 1 oxygen atom 2 bonds. That is 6 bonds. And among these 6 bonds, one must remain unhybridized for the formation of that pi bond. Because we know that the oxygen among these 2 orbitals, one will form sigma, another will form pi. Because same oxygen atom will form bond with that of the same central atom, that is xenon. These are the 2 mutual orbitals. One will form sigma, another will form pi. So xenon atom 5s2, 5p6, 5d0, promoted electrons. Xenon atom excited that contains 6 number of unpaired electrons. And among these 6 unpaired electrons, that is sp3d2 hybridization that is going on. There is the presence of 1 lone pair of electron and 5 number of electrons are there in the hybrid orbital. 1 electron in the unhybridized orbital that is responsible for pi bond formation. So fluorine atom, fluorine. So 4 fluorine atom has the ability to form sigma bonds with that of the hybrid orbitals, and oxygen atom 2py, 2pz, one will form sigma and another will form pi. And this pi bond that is formed between 5d of xenon and 2p of that oxygen. Therefore, that is known as p pi d pi bond. So regarding that structure, four fluorine atoms, one lone pair, and this is the double bond, sigma pi. So xenon, that is having sp3 d2 hybridization. So center atom xenon that contains at center of that octahedral, four fluorine atom toward the four corners of the square, but this is your lone pair of electron to one side and double bond xenon to oxygen, that is double bond which contain 1 pi and 1 sigma. So instead of that is octahedral geometry, that is having the square pyramidal structure. So according to that BSc theory, that is square pyramidal structure. So this is regarding, that is the formation of xenon oxy tetrafluoride compound structure that contain, that is the nature of hybridization, that is sp3 d2 hybridization, and that contain one lone pair of electron, and these are the one pair, that is 6 pair of electrons. But among these 6 pair of electrons, that is 5 pairs are involved in sigma bond formation, and 1 pair that is involved in the formation that pi bond formation by that p pi d pi bond. So this is regarding, that is XeO4. You may try for that XeO2F2. XeO2F2. In this case, similarly you can try for this one, 2 fluorine atom, 2 bonds. 2 oxygen atom, 4 bonds. 4 plus 2, that is 6. Then how many number of sigma bonds will be there? 1 oxygen atom, 1 sigma, 1 pi. 2 sigma, 2 pi, 2 sigma. Means that the formation of 4 sigma and 2 pi. So in that case, we have to keep 2 unpaired electrons in unhybridized orbital. In a similar way, if we will proceed for that, XeO4, oxygen atom that contain 2 unpaired electrons. So there is the formation of 4 bonds, 4 into 2, that is 8 bonds. 8 bonds will be formed, and among these 8 bonds, 4 will be sigma and 4 will be pi. So 4 pi bonds means we have to keep 4 unhybridized orbitals containing 4 unpaired electrons. So similarly, you can try for that in this manner, you can try for that XeO4, XeO2F2. We have given the structure for these compounds, and today we are able to finish that group 18 elements, that is noble gases, that is inert gases. Last group of this period table, that is group 18 elements. Thank you all. Go in detail all these questions and portions which I have covered. If you have any doubt, then you may contact that number that I have given. Thank you all.